Hi, my name's Grace Bannon. I'm the Director of Studies at ILSC Sydney, and I'm here today to talk to you guys about the Trinity CertTESOL that we have introduced here at ILSC. And I'm here with two of the trainers, Aaron Clark and Yuli Lukito. And I'm very excited to ask you a couple of questions so that you can let everyone know about the course. Okay, Aaron, I might start with you. What is the Trinity CertTESOL?
Okay, so the Trinity CertTESOL is a course which helps individuals become a teacher of English as a second language, and it's very well known around the world. It's done in a few different modalities, but yeah, the most popular version would be the 4-week intensive course.
Excellent. And you're offering that here at ILSC?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
So Yuli, maybe I'll ask you the next question. What are the main differences between the Trinity CertTESOL and the CELTA course? As you've been a trainer on the CELTA course and now on the Trinity CertTESOL, you have a very good idea of the width and breadth of both the courses.
Well, actually, I wouldn't say there are many differences at all between the two, because at the end of the day, both are internationally recognized and highly reputable teacher training courses. And it's really up to the provider to decide on what to focus on in the delivery. However, one thing that stands out about the Trinity CertTESOL is there seems to be emphasis on language awareness and phonology. And the phonology component is really big, and often there is a test as well throughout the course. And so that's probably one thing that is distinctive about the Trinity CertTESOL.
Okay, and both myself and Aaron have actually done the course ourselves, so we are aware of that in-depth look at the phonology side of things and how intense that part is actually. All right, so maybe you can tell me, as a trainee, what would a typical day look like? And I can throw that out to either of you, really.
The typical day, usually on the intensive course, would be 2 input sessions in the morning, and then that's followed by a break, and then some lesson planning, and then after that going into the teaching practice part of the course, which is then followed by feedback. And there's also, in some cases, we also have some time for the candidates or the trainees to reflect on their practice, but also maybe to do some of the assignments as well throughout the day, because there are a lot of, there's some intense assignments as well.
Okay, so it seems like there's quite a lot that actually gets put into a day. So how long's the actual day?
From 8:30 until 4:15.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, fabulous. All right. Okay, so what makes this an attractive qualification to someone?
Well, as Aaron said before, this is an intensive course that is well known around the world. But more importantly, this is a very practical course where people really learn about the teaching techniques throughout the course by doing collaborative activities, and they have a chance to really put themselves in the students' shoes so they can really see what it's like to be the students. So I think that is an attractive component of the course. And I mentioned earlier that there's emphasis on language awareness and phonology. I'd like to also add to what I was saying before. And I think one of the reasons why having the emphasis on language awareness and phonology is important is because teachers, especially new teachers, spend hours and hours on lesson planning at the very beginning, right? And a lot of those hours are spent on actually researching the language. A lot of teachers say, oh, it's so hard to understand this grammar and that grammar. And if we actually have the emphasis or the focus on language awareness on the course itself, hopefully that will lessen the burden when they start teaching, because then they can concentrate on the actual lesson planning process instead of researching the grammar itself, if that makes sense.
And of course, I mean, all three of us have made careers out of this industry, so it is something that, is quite an attractive place to go into. We've all thoroughly enjoy it. It's why we've been doing it for 20 plus years. So I think it's, why not? Okay, so a big question. Do you actually have to be a native speaker to do this course?
No, but you do have to have a good level of English. So we're looking at kind of the advanced level of English, something with a minimum IELTS score of 7.0. So yeah, you have to be able to, to speak very fluently and accurately in order to teach the language. That's what we expect.
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent, wonderful, good to know.
On that note, though, it doesn't mean that you need to have an IELTS test result.
Yes.
Perfect.
Good.
Okay,
It's just
good.
equivalent to IELTS 7 overall, but then what you really need to do is to complete the pre-interview task,
Yes.
and you need to provide us with the evidence of your writing proficiency, so we can see the competence, both your written and spoken competence, and then we will evaluate the written work and the spoken language
Okay.
based on what has been completed. Yeah.
So you mentioned a pre-interview task. Does that mean there's also an interview stage as well?
Yes.
Okay.
There is. And so the pre-interview task will consist of teaching awareness and maybe language awareness as well. Not maybe, there will be language awareness components such as phonology and grammar and vocabulary. And also there is a section which focuses on how you can teach certain language points using a variety of techniques. So the idea is for us to get an idea of what you can do in the classroom before you actually start enrolling on the course. Yeah.
But you don't actually need previous classroom experience to do this?
Not at all, not at
Okay.
all. Of course, it's beneficial for everybody, including teachers with experience. They have the opportunity to tap into their previous knowledge and expand on what they already know, and then perhaps they can undo certain things that you've been doing for quite a while. But it is definitely suitable for those without any prior experience at all, and you start fresh. Start from
Perfect.
scratch.
So if I was to do this course, I complete the course, what can I do with this qualification? Where can I work?
I think, you can work all over the world. So this course, Trinity CertTESOL, is considered one of the gold standard qualifications. So right up there with CELTA, so it's internationally recognised. So you can find a job in Australia as a language teacher. Although most providers here also require a bachelor's degree, undergrad. But internationally, definitely, that's on the table when you complete the course, for sure.
Excellent. And you've also done that yourself, worked abroad.
Yes.
Yeah, and me too. It's a fantastic way to see the world and actually fund your travels. So yeah.
And it is popular in Europe, isn't it?
Very, very popular. Yeah, it's very popular. I mean, especially if you're part of the European Union, you can hop between countries and you can experience different cultures. And I suppose that's kind of one of the attractive sides of this, is that you actually get to immerse yourselves with other cultures. So yeah, it's a fantastic thing to do. Okay, so the big question, what made you want to become a teacher trainer in this course?
I think for me, it was the fact that, like you, Grace, I've been through the course. That's how I got into this whole industry, and it's been a very rewarding career for me. And so, I think for me, it's kind of going back to the start and being able to provide that opportunity for other people who also want to, maybe travel the world and work. But even those who just want to, to stay here and have a very rewarding and rewarding career with, with a lot of kind of different. A lot of differences, session on session, because that's the cool thing about being a teacher, is that every class is different, and every group of individuals is different, and it makes it a very rewarding place to work. So yeah,
Fantastic. Yeah, I think you probably have something similar to say on this, do you?
Yeah. Well, for me, the main reason is I love teaching. And I don't see teacher training as being different to teaching. It's just the target audience that's different. But then we're still talking about the same thing again. And then from a teacher's perspective, And I like language and phonology. I admit that. And I'd like to see how my trainees are able to grasp their knowledge within a very short period of time, and they can be very effective teachers, you know, by the end of that course, and that's personally rewarding for me. And also, I think another reason why I like to be a trainer is because of the fact that I have to interact with such a diverse group of people from different nationalities and language backgrounds, and yeah, just to be able to witness their growth throughout the course is amazing. Yeah.
Well, I think anyone would be quite lucky to have either of you as their trainer, because you're clearly passionate about what you do, and we all know that the teachers and trainers that we remember the most are the ones who instilled that love into us for something. So I think anyone would be incredibly lucky to come and be trained by either of you. So I'm looking forward to it.
Plus, I think it makes us better teachers too.
Yeah.
Because then we have to be the role models. We need to show empathy, and we need to really demonstrate what it's like to be an effective teacher. And sometimes we might go off rails sometimes, you know, that's normal.
Yeah.
But then I think it keeps us, what do you call it? You know, how do you say this? It keeps us in check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Is that the correct word?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, both of you. I'm really looking forward to seeing you both in action with our students.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.